Just first of all, was it a big family night last night? Did all your family come with you and everything?
It was. All my family, all my friends.
Was it your first red carpet do?
You know, for some of my friends, I guess it was. Yeah, my family have been to a couple, and no, it's always great to have their support.
Excited. Well, look at you there. You look very comfortable with it and all of that, and just enjoying the moment. I guess that's the reward for totally faking it.
If I look comfortable. Yeah.
I've seen the movie. It is absolutely extraordinary.
The relevance that it has to what's going on in society today as far as race relations are concerned. And I think as far as the state of civil rights, specifically in America, it feels like we're sort of experiencing a bit of a regression, you know, in that respect.
Well, I was saying earlier, I never expected to see the Ku Klux Klan back on American streets. I really thought they'd evaporated and disappeared, but they're out there. And what happened in Detroit? I mean, was this actually the origin of that terrible phrase in America that if you're black, then quite a common cause of death is death by cop?
Yeah, quite right. Racially motivated police work was even more common than it is now.
So what happened in Detroit in '67?
So in '67, Detroit was approaching 40% African-American. And the police force was 95% white, so a huge racial bias initially. And as you said, there was a natural presumption of guilt and a preservation of innocence for white people. So if you were a person of colour, and it's quite possible that you've come into Detroit seeking the civil rights you were denied in the South, it's very possible that you would have been subjected to some horrendous treatment.
So what sparked the riots? What actually happened?
Well, racial tensions were running particularly high. Detroit was very segregated, and you know, having been promised a better quality of life in Detroit and other northern territories of America, it transpired for a lot of people of colour that that wasn't the case, and they were redlined, meaning that they were sort of pushed into some of the kind of lowest quality, cramped housing and labour-intensive jobs for the lowest amount of pay. So
you put that together with a long hot summer.
And it centres around a particular incident, which is just so shocking, but it's a great film to watch. You play an American. Well done on the accent, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I always say we're at an unfair advantage here in the UK because we become accustomed to hearing the accent so much through media.
But it's easy to get wrong. There's nothing worse than an English actor getting an American accent just off beam, you know?
I suppose so. I hope I haven't offended. My main goal is just not to offend anyone with an accent whenever I do it.
And they're saying you might get an Oscar. I mean, that must be a wonderful moment when you hear that there's a buzz about your performance.
You know, whatever I achieve as an actor is never going to amount to what they do, you know, given their professions.
But what do they think when Sonny Jim says, I'm going to go on the board?
I think they thought, thank God, because you're hopeless at science, I think. That's what they thought.
How did you do in your A-levels, by the way? Because you didn't have... We got his A-level results today. A lot of youngsters nervously. Because I know you're dyslexic, aren't you? So it's very tricky.
Yeah, I will say, and I know this is easy when you've had a lucky break as an actor, but, you know, it's not the be-all and end-all, whatever the result. And I think there's something to be said for talents and interests outside of academia.
How did you learn your lines if you're dyslexic?
Do you know what? It's the one thing that I don't have a problem with. That and food menus. Wow. So there's things I'm passionate about. Food and film. But yeah.
Well, Will, lovely to chat to you.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Keeping our fingers crossed for that Oscar nomination.
Well done.
That's very kind. Thank you, guys.